What's going on, golf addicts? Welcome to Tour Junkies After Dark, presented by DraftKings Sportsbook. We're going to give you like 15, 20 minutes of some DK Sportsbook previews, outright bets, top 20 bets for the Charles Schwab 2021 at Colonial Country Club. Great golf course, great golf venue event. It's the 75th year they played this event. I hope you had a great PGA Championship week. Phil Mickelson. My God, Phil Mickelson, right?
Phil.
Unbelievable win. Anyway, yeah, we covered it ad nauseum on our shows. You can check that out. But while you're here, give it a thumbs up here on the DraftKings channel. Subscribe, if you will, to the DraftKings channel as well on YouTube. And yeah, it's good stuff. Hey, comment. I want to know this. We asked this of our listeners. Comment your thoughts on Brooks Koepka's handling of the whole crowd situation on 18 at the PGA. Complained about people bumping his knee and all that stuff. Do you think Brooks was being kind of a wuss? Do you think Brooks was warranted in his complaining about how it was all handled? Put that in the comments here on DraftKings YouTube channel. Pat, hope you're doing well, man. I am deep into the tequila tonight. We have recorded our DraftKings preview show. We've recorded our betting show. It's late on a Monday night. I'm getting deep in the sauce. What you got? Now, you've been drinking beer all night. What do you got now?
I switched to a little vino for the DK show.
Oh, crap. That means we're all in big trouble. Pat, before you get too deep into that vino, tell us about Colonial. It's obviously a course that if you've been betting on golf or playing golf for, DraftKings golf for a long time, pretty familiar with Colonial. Been around a long time. As I mentioned, 75 years. Tell us what the folks need to know before finalizing their betting card.
Yeah, it's a great classical course on tour. As you mentioned, they've played it for many, many, many years, which means that course history is something that we're going to want to look at this week because there's a lot of guys in this field that have played this tournament a lot. And I do think it is a course where you do have to have a good feel for it. So I think course history is something that's important. It is a par 70. It is playing just over 7,200 yards. We've got 121 players in the field this week, which is significant because it is an invitational event. You've got less players in the field than we typically see on a normal PGA Tour event. So with T65 and ties making the cut, I do think you're going to see a little bit more as far as 6 of 6 lineups. But look, you got bent grass greens this week. It is this is a ball strikers course. Approach is going to be huge, okay, because these fairways are tough to hit. So I do think driving accuracy matters. And this is a short enough course where anybody comes into play, okay? Like distance is really your hands are tied a little bit with a lot of the dog legs here on this course. It's a precision angle type course. You got to hit these fairways in the right spot. And then you've got to be great with your irons into these greens. And the greens are running pretty quick. The bent grass is always it's a true rolling grass. There's not a whole lot of bumps and whatever else. They tend to run pretty true. So I think the guys putting well on bent, great with their irons this week, are going to be the ones that you're going to want to go after as far as whether it's DFS, betting, whatever you're looking at.
Love it. I think you definitely got to pay attention to the weather. We're recording this on Monday night. It's Texas. The wind can switch, can change. We have seen over the last few weeks a lot of wave advantages. So whether you're an AM/PM wave on Thursday and Friday or PM/AM wave, Thursday, I know right now is looking to be very windy, so something to look at, something to pay attention to. If you see some value that's just too good on DraftKings Sportsbook, hit it now. Otherwise, you may want to wait and wait till tee times come out, wait till the weather kind of takes shape, because I do think that's going to be impactful. There's been a lot of rain in this area over the last few weeks. There's been some rain today. Pat mentioned on our shows earlier, the golf course is probably going to play soft. If that's the case, on Thursday, you're going to have lift, clean, in place going on. So if you're not in the fairway, you're not going to have that advantage. Being in the fairway is going to be important. Yeah, this is just a precision golf course. Precision and putting on bent grass is kind of what it comes down to. The other thing you notice with Colonial is a lot of winners in that, in terms of outright bets, a lot of winners in that like 30 to 70 to 1 range. A lot of mid-range winners. I think in the last 10 years, there's only been one outright winner over 100-1, and that was Boo Weekly back in the day. So now last year, I will say, first year back or first event back from the pandemic, they had the Charles Schwab the first week of June. It was the first event back. We did hit Daniel Berger. We talked him up. We wrote him up. Daniel Berger at 70-1 won this golf tournament. So hopefully we keep the good history going. With that, Pat, let's get into some outright picks. Now, the first name I'm going to give you, I already know that we both agree on, and it's the shortest name that we're going to give you because listen, anybody can tell you to go play, Patrick Reed at 17-1, or maybe Colin Morikawa 15-1. Anybody can tell you that. We want to get a little bit longer than that, okay? We both very much agree on, and actually, I would go ahead and if you can still get this number, I think you get it. Will Zalatoris at 25-1. The young gun continues to impress a lot of people. 8th at the PGA Championship just this past week. Obviously, he's going to be on the PGA Tour for a while, but he doesn't yet qualify for the FedEx Cup playoffs, which will be here before you know it. He's got to win a golf tournament to do that, which is insane, but it is what it is. Will Zalatoris is a total package player. He's a Texas guy. He's not played in this event before officially, but I'm sure he's played at this golf course. He's familiar with it. It's kind of a home field, kind of a home field advantage for him. His irons are incredible. Gained 8.2 strokes at the PGA, 9.5 at the Byron Nelson a couple weeks ago, another Texas event. 3.5 at the RBC, 4.5 at the Players, 4.5 at the API, 3.8 at the WGC Mexico. Like, even 3.5 is insane. Like, not insane, but like 3.5 is really good on the PGA Tour. This kid is so good, and I think his win equity is very real. At 25-1 on DraftKings, I love it. I think he's the shortest name we go after here. Pat, I know you agree, and why don't you help take us into the mid-range?
Yeah, I am all on Willie Z this week at 25-1. I think that is a great number. I think it's going to be shorter, so you got to get it right now. As soon as this show comes out, get it at 25-1. I like Charlie Hoffman at 45-1. I mean, Charlie Hoffman is a guy that has played incredible golf lately. I mean, incredible. Probably some of the best in his career, and without a win. So I like Hoffman at 45-1. I think that's a really good number for him. I am all in on that number, and I know you like that one as well, DB. So a lot of agreement for us as far as some of these numbers in the DraftKings Sportsbook. Another guy that I like. Now, I do think this is a guy that I want to play as far as the odds are concerned. I don't think I'm going to have him a whole lot in DFS, but that is Gary Woodland at 55-1. A guy we've seen just not be able to really put 4 rounds together, but obviously a winner on tour, a major winner on tour. Yeah, I think on our last show, DB, you mentioned that he plays short courses well, even though everybody kind of knows Gary Woodland is a bomber. But look, you look at his approach numbers, his ball striking numbers, they've been really good lately. We've seen some good form, had a top 5 finish a few weeks ago, played well last week. If it hadn't been for just a terrible Sunday, I mean, Woodland was right there in the top 5, and then just, kind of crap the bed. And a lot of it had to do with his driver, which he's not really going to have to hit a lot this week anyway. So I think Gary Woodland at 55-1 makes a lot of sense.
I don't mind that. He's just got to put 4 together, like you said. All right. A guy that has been putting 4 together lately and is a new full-time member on the PGA Tour coming over from the European Tour is Matt Wallace. Matt Wallace, in his last 5 events, has 2 top 6s, a 6th-place finish at the Wells Fargo, a 3rd-place finish at the Valero Texas Open. Finished 55th at the PGA. I mean, kind of stumbled there coming in, but I mean, from a ball striking standpoint, a putting standpoint, I mean, he's doing everything well. Matt Wallace at 70-1, I think is a very good number. He's 15th in this field in strokes gained approach over the last 24 rounds. He's hitting fairways. He putts well on bent grass. Very good scrambler if he does, in fact, miss a green or get in trouble. I think 70-1 is way too long for Matt Wallace. So I'll take him before we get into the triple-digit numbers.
Yeah, I like Matt Wallace there too, as well. I think we talked about old guy season, by the way, after Phil Mickelson won. And we've seen Stuart Sink win a few times this year. Matt Kuchar, it's 70-1. I think makes a little bit of sense as well.
Yeah, I kind of like old Kuchar. I mean, tremendous record here. If you look at strictly playing at Colonial, he has logged 24 rounds here. He plays here every year. And in those 24 rounds, he is 16th in the field in strokes gained ball striking at Colonial. Ball striking meaning just strokes gained off the tee and strokes gained approach. So literally from the tee to hitting it on the green, he's 16th in the field, which is fantastic stuff. So I completely agree with you on Matt Kuchar. He's been playing well. Maybe he's got some confidence. Maybe he's inspired seeing Stuart Sink win 2 times this year and now Phil Mickelson winning a major. I like the Kuchar play at 70-1. Completely agree there. You ready to get into the kind of the triple digit numbers here?
Yeah, let's go. Let's
see. I don't want to steal your thunder on one guy that I know you're going to have. I think we could see Harold Varner break out and win this event. It's a little out there, but I mean, he's 100-1. We just saw him finish runner up at Harbortown, I believe it was. Very similar golf course to this. This isn't a Pete Dye design, but rewards accuracy in the fairway, solid approach play and putting. I mean, Varner for a longer hitter is actually, he hits fairways, really good scrambler, decent approach play. Varner's interesting to me. He's got a little bit of a history here. It's not much, but it's something. And he's just, he's playing okay. I think this could be a breakout. I just have a feeling at 100-1. I think this is kind of a breakout spot for HV3.
Yeah, I don't mind it. I like Joel Damon. He's at 110-1. I mean, he's been playing some fantastic golf this year. I mean, you look at his last few events, and then here, I mean, he's got 2 top 20 finishes here on this course. It's a great course fit for him. So at 110-1, I think Joel Damon makes a lot of sense. And then also like Tom Hoge. He's at 140-1, a guy who's top 15 in this field in strokes gained approach. He's top 25 in ball striking, very accurate off the tee. I think Tom Hoge, could have a good finish here and could win. You never know. And if you don't want to bet him, top to win, I think, let's see. Anyway, you go and I'll figure out what it is.
Okay. You're getting into the top 20 plays, I guess it is.
I'm immediately getting into the top 20 plays now.
I do have one more bomb, and it's 160-1, and it's Maverick Mcnealy. If you're like, who is Maverick Mcnealy? That sounds like the yuppiest name I've ever heard of. Well, it is. But for a guy at 160-1, hits a lot of fairways. He's a tremendous putter. Very good putter. Putts well on bent grass greens. Gain strokes around the green pretty good. Now, not much of a tournament history here, but it's okay. He's a young kid. But I mean, if you look at his game logs, it's like miscut, 4th at the RBC. Miscut, nothing to write home about. 2nd at Pebble Beach at the AT&T Pro-Am. Both courses that are precision golf courses that don't require a lot of length. He's got some top 10s and top 5s in his PGA Tour career. He's very talented. 160-1, I think, is an interesting number. Now, as we get into your top 20 bets, he's also 4-1 as a top 20. That's probably the smarter angle there for Mav McNealy. But yeah, that'll wrap it up for me for the outrights. All right, hit me with your top 20s.
Yeah, so top 20s, I just mentioned Tom Hoge. You can get him at 4-1, not 40. Good Lord. Can you imagine if you could get him at 40-1 top 20?
I would be betting that.
Yes, I would be betting, but no, 4-1 for Tom Hoge. Also, Joel Damon, I mentioned him as an outright. You can get him at 3-1. Don't like going much shorter than that on top 20 bets, but I like that for him. And then a couple more that I think are interesting plays. You got Harry Higgs, a guy we just saw play very well last week at the PGA Championship, another Texas guy. He is at 4-1. I think that's a good number for him. And then last play that I'll give you in this range, I think is going to be Mr. Henrik Stenson at 6.5 to 1 to finish top 20 also.
Yeah, I mean, this is definitely TJ After Dark. That is full-on After Dark mode activated, red wine flowing Henrik Stenson. That's a long top 20 number. I don't like it. I kind of think I'm an unpopular take. You ready? Harry Higgs, great guy. Love him. Big fan. Okay, we've interviewed him on the Tour Junkies podcast. You can go watch that interview on our own YouTube channel. Great guy. Unpopular take, though, I don't think he's going to play that great. He gained like 5.5 strokes around the green last week. He scrambled his butt off at the PGA, and everybody's excited. You know, T4 gets into the Masters. He's a guy everybody loves. But other than that, like, he didn't do much. He didn't do much. He's off the tee and approach play has been bad for Harry Higgs. I think he's kind of fool's gold.
I still think he can finish top 20.
I think he's fool's gold. Maybe it's more of a DFS take, but yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, you're right. He's a SMU golfer, like very familiar with this area. You know, I mean, he could do it. I like Kisner at 3 to 1, which is stupid considering I just said Harry Higgs. Yeah, I mean, Kiss hasn't made a cut in I don't know how long.
Yeah, I mean, like you're just gonna go cowboy it up everywhere. Like, all right.
But, you know, here's what we do know. He loves this golf course. Absolutely loves it.
I'm going to go Lee Trevino this week. Lee Trevino is...
What are you doing? He's not even...
That's what I feel like you're doing. He's
100 years old. Kisner loves this golf course. He's won on this golf course. Even though he sucked, he's still checking the... He's 22nd in the field in fairways gained over the last 24 rounds. So even though he sucked, he's still hitting the ball in the fairway, okay? He's 8th in this field in putting on bent grass over the last 75 rounds. Long term, big picture, who putts well on bent grass, who's familiar. It's just the irons. Why are the irons so bad? I don't know. But again, of course he knows, of course he's familiar with, of course he loves. He needs to do something. He needs to have a good finish. 3 to 1 top 20. I'll take it. I mentioned Maverick Mcnealy earlier. He's 4 to 1. I like Matt Naismith, really good young ball striker who's had some good finishes on the PGA Tour in his rookie season. Good approach play, good off the tee play. He's 4.5 to 1. And then finally, I'm going to go Adam Schenk, 5 to 1. Long shot, top 20. Good approach play, good putter. Just needs to get the ball in the fairway, you know, put four decent rounds together. He can be in the top 25 to 1. I think that's a nice long shot, 5 to 1 number. So there you go. There you have it. You good?
I'm good.
We're going to button it up for Tour Junkies After Dark presented by DraftKings Sportsbook. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up. Tell us in the comments, what do you think about Brooks Koepka? Was he kind of being a baby at the end of yesterday? Or do you think that the crowd's kind of out of control? You know, PGA Championship, you know, shouldn't have let that happen, whatever. Let us know in the comments. Subscribe to the DraftKings YouTube channel. Check out Tour Junkies podcast, wherever you listen to podcasts, and YouTube as well. We appreciate it. Hope you guys hit some bets for the DraftKings Sportsbook and the Chucky Schwab Invitational from Colonial Country Club. Fun track, good field. Let's keep it moving. See ya!
Out!